Let me ask you something. Have you ever stood in front of your closet on a hot summer day and thought, nothing fits, nothing flatters, nothing feels like me anymore? Maybe you've tried on 5 different outfits, each one feeling worse than the last. You end up in the same loose t-shirt, frustrated and a little defeated. I've been there too. But here's what I learned. It's not about your body. It's about understanding how to dress it with kindness, not criticism. Summer dressing should feel easy. But if you're over 50, it can honestly feel like a daily struggle. One minute you're sweating, the next you're tugging at fabric that just doesn't sit right. And let's be real, most trends weren't made for real bodies like ours. But here's the good news. You don't need to chase what's trendy. You just need the right tools to feel confident and comfortable in your skin. That's exactly what we're diving into today. Here's the thing most women don't realize. The way our eyes move when we look at clothing, it's all about direction. Vertical lines lead the eye up and down, which makes us appear taller and more streamlined. But horizontal lines, they make the eye move side to side, and that can highlight areas we'd rather downplay like the midsection. Ever try on a top with a band across the belly and wonder why it felt all wrong? That's why. It's not about your body being the problem. It's about learning how to guide the eye where you want it to go. And once you get that, you're no longer guessing. You're dressing with purpose, and it shows in how you carry yourself. Let's talk about something really simple, but incredibly powerful. Lines. Not fashion trends or magazine rules. Just plain lines. Because once you understand how the eye follows them, you'll never look at clothes the same way again. Here's what I mean. Our brains are wired to process direction. Vertical lines, whether it's a seam, a row of buttons, or a long scarf, lead the eye up and down. And when your eye moves that way, it creates a sense of height, elegance, and balance. You look longer, leaner, and more fluid. It's like an optical illusion that works in your favor. Now horizontal lines? They do the opposite. They stop the eye. They make it move side to side, which visually stretches out that area. That can be great if you're trying to balance out narrow hips, but not so great when you've got a band, stripe, or detail cutting straight across your tummy or bust. That draws attention exactly where most women tell me they're trying to minimize. I remember one client who loved a tiered dress she bought online. It had 3 horizontal seams across the body. Super cute on the model. But when she put it on, she looked in the mirror and said, "Why do I look wider than I actually am?" It wasn't her body. It was the lines. Those horizontal tiers chopped her silhouette into pieces. No flow. No movement. Just one horizontal block after another. Now let's flip that. Think about a shirt dress with vertical stripes, or a wrap dress with a long tie that drapes down one side, or even just a top with a long necklace. All of those details lead the eye in one direction down. And when your eye moves down, the whole body feels more balanced, more put together. You don't feel like you need to adjust, cover, or second-guess your look. And it's not just dresses. This works with tops, pants, accessories, even hairstyles. Part your hair down the middle? That's a vertical line. Side part with volume only on one side? Horizontal weight. See how it adds up? So here's the big takeaway. Vertical lines create flow. Horizontal lines create focus. Neither one is bad. But you've got to be intentional. Ask yourself, where do I want the eye to go? What do I want to highlight? When you understand how to guide the eye, your style becomes a conversation, not a reaction. You're not letting clothes wear you. You're choosing what message they send. Start small. Maybe tomorrow, pick a top with a vertical seam. Add a long necklace. Watch how it changes your reflection and how you feel in it. That's the power of lines. Let's be real. Finding the right dress when you're dealing with a fuller midsection is no walk in the park. You walk into a store, see a dress that looks amazing on the hanger, maybe even on the mannequin, but then you try it on and suddenly nothing feels right. It hugs the wrong places, pulls where you don't want it to, and just doesn't do your beautiful shape any justice. I see it all the time. That's why I want to talk about one of the best-kept secrets for apple-shaped bodies. The Empire Waist Dress. This cut raises the waistline to just under the bust, and what that does is genius. It visually lifts the body and creates a long, uninterrupted line that gently schemes over the tummy area without clinging.
No tight pulling. No fabric bunching.
Just soft, flattering movement. Now imagine pairing that empire waist with a slightly A-line skirt. The kind that flows away from the body, offering just enough structure to hold its shape without adding volume. This combo works like magic. Why? Because many apple-shaped women have gorgeous legs. By keeping the top soft and the bottom slightly flared, you create balance. You're drawing the eye downward in a way that feels effortless and flattering. I had a client, Mary, who came to me after years of avoiding dresses. She said they always made her feel bulky or boxy. But when we put her in a soft cotton empire waist dress with a bit of stretch and an A-line cut, something shifted. She looked in the mirror and smiled. She said, "I didn't know a dress could feel like me." That's what the right cut does. It makes you feel seen and comfortable in your own skin. And let's not forget about fabric. You want something that moves with your body, not against it. Lightweight knits, cotton blends, even modal. These fabrics provide that flow without losing shape. Avoid stiff materials that crease or stand away from the body. They often add volume where you don't want it. Necklines matter too. A V-neck or scoop neckline can help elongate your upper body and draw the eye upward. Add a long pendant necklace or a soft scarf, and you've just added another layer of vertical flow. The big idea here? Don't fight your shape, work with it. Let your dress highlight your strengths. Let it move with you. Because when you wear something that fits not just your body, but your life, you walk differently. You stand taller. You smile more. So the next time you're dress shopping, try on that empire waist. Let the fabric flow. Look in the mirror and ask, does this dress feel like me? If the answer is yes, then you've already won. When you hear the word layering, your first thought in summer might be, no thank you. It's already hot enough. And trust me, I get it. But layering isn't just about warmth. When it's done right, especially in warm weather, it becomes a tool for elegance, balance, and confidence. Here's the secret. Summer layering is all about lightness. You want pieces that move with the breeze, that flow with your shape, and that guide the eye gently down your body. Think sheer kimonos, lightweight vests, or open linen cardigans. Not heavy coats or bulky jackets. Just whisper light layers that give your outfit dimension. Imagine this. You're wearing a simple dress. Let's say an empire waist, soft fabric, flowy bottom. On its own, it's lovely. But when you add a long open chiffon duster that floats past your hips, you've just framed your body with vertical lines. You've added movement. You've added interest. And best of all, you didn't add heat or bulk. These kinds of layers are especially powerful if you're someone who likes a little coverage around the arms or sides. Instead of trying to hide, you're softening and shaping. A light outer layer can mask the midsection without squeezing it, and it gives off a graceful, effortless vibe that says, I'm put together, but I'm not trying too hard. And here's something a lot of women don't think about, where the details fall on your layering pieces matters. If you have embroidery or patterns, try to keep them toward the hemline, along the collar, or down the center. Avoid heavy decorations right at the waist or tummy. Why? Because those spots attract the eye, and we're all about guiding the eye vertically, not side to side. One client of mine started wearing a thin, sheer kimono over her jeans and t-shirt outfits. She told me it made her feel like herself again, stylish, grown, and graceful. She could throw it on in the morning and feel polished, even with minimal effort. That's the power of the right layer. And yes, fabric makes all the difference. Go for breathable blends, linen, viscose, rayon, or silk mixes. These materials let your skin breathe. They also move with your body, so as you walk or turn, the fabric creates that gentle sway that feels both elegant and alive. So if you've been avoiding layers because of the season, give them another look. You're not adding clothing to cover up. You're adding structure, shape, and style. And most importantly, you're doing it on your terms, with comfort, intention, and confidence. Start with one piece, maybe a soft drapey vest, or a sheer cardigan. Wear it once and see how it transforms not just your outfit, but the way you carry yourself. That's the kind of layering we're talking about. Let's talk about the waist. For so many women, especially after 50, that's the part of the body we have a love-hate relationship with. Some days, it feels like everything we wear is either too tight or too shapeless. But what if I told you that defining your waist doesn't have to involve squeezing or cinching at all? Here's the truth. You can absolutely create a shape without discomfort. And it starts with placement. Instead of drawing attention to your natural waist, which might be exactly where you carry weight, try shifting that focus up, just below the bust. That's what we call an empire waist, and it works wonders. Think about it like this. When you raise the visual waistline, you give your torso a longer, uninterrupted line. It pulls the eye upward and down rather than sideways. You get soft shape, subtle lift, and the illusion of a longer body without feeling like you're stuffed into your outfit. I once worked with a woman named Angela who always wore boxy tops. She told me belts made her feel cut in half and exposed. But when we tried a soft sash tied loosely just under her bust, her entire face lit up. She couldn't believe how that one tiny shift made her feel more confident. It's like I still have a waist, she said, just in a new place. And that's really what this is about. Not forcing your body into someone else's idea of proportions, but redefining them in a way that feels good. When you use a thin belt, a scarf, or even a well-placed seam to suggest a waistline higher up, you're framing your shape, not fighting it. Just be careful with the materials. Avoid stiff, wide belts that create harsh lines. They'll draw too much attention and might feel uncomfortable after a meal or a long day. Instead, go for something soft. Think of a ribbon, a fabric tie, a thin leather strap. Something you can tie off-center if you want to add some movement and style. And remember, the goal isn't to fake something or hide anything. It's to guide the eye. To give your silhouette that little bit of structure that makes an outfit feel intentional. This works especially well over flowy dresses, tunics, or even a long shirt layered over slim pants. So if you've sworn off belts or waist definition because they've always felt restrictive, I challenge you to try again with new eyes. Shift the waist up. Keep it soft. Let your clothes echo your shape instead of forcing one. Start with one piece. One look. Tie it. Move in it. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, do I feel good in this? If the answer is yes, then you're on the right track. Because style should never feel like punishment. It should feel like permission to be exactly who you are. Let's take a moment to talk about fabric, because believe it or not, what your clothes are made of can completely change how you feel in them. And I don't just mean comfort. I'm talking about how fabric affects the way your clothes move, how they fall on your body, and even how confident you feel when you walk into a room. Here's something I hear all the time. I found a dress that fits, but something about it just feels off. And 9 times out of 10, it comes down to fabric. The wrong material can cling in places you'd rather it didn't, bunch up when you sit down, or make you feel stiff and restricted. That's not your body's fault. It's the fabric working against you. Now let's flip that. Think about how it feels when you put on a soft rayon blouse or a flowy cotton dress. The fabric glides. It sways a little when you walk. It doesn't grab or tug, it moves with you. And that movement sends a quiet, confident message. You feel more at ease, more graceful, and more in control of your look. There's also something really powerful about softness in a fabric. It softens your silhouette too. A structured fabric like denim or polyester can create sharp lines, but a gentle weave like viscose or jersey can help round out edges in the most flattering way. Instead of pointing at your curves, it partners with them. I had a friend, Lisa, who used to avoid anything soft or drapey. She thought she needed structure to hide her shape. But after she tried on a jersey knit wrap dress for the first time, her entire posture changed. She said, I don't feel hidden. I feel seen, but in a good way. That's the power of fabric that understands your body. And let's not forget breathability. In summer, especially, you want materials that let air pass through. Linen, light cotton, modal. They keep you cool while looking elegant. Thick synthetic blends? Not so much. They trap heat and make you feel like you're wearing a sauna. Here's my best advice. When you're shopping, don't just look. *touch star. Run your fingers across the material. Hold it up and see how it drapes. Ask yourself, does this feel stiff or soft? Will this flow or fight me? Your body knows the answer before your brain does. And if you already have pieces in your closet that don't feel quite right, it might not be the cut. It might be the cloth. Try pairing a structured piece with something soft. Mix texture and movement. Balance is everything. At the end of the day, fashion shouldn't feel like armor. It should feel like support. And fabric? That's your foundation. Choose ones that whisper, not shout. That follows you, not force you. Because when the fabric flows, so do you. Let's talk about accessories for a minute. Now I know some people think of them as just the finishing touches, like the cherry on top. But when you understand how powerful they really are, you'll never treat them like an afterthought again. Accessories aren't just about decoration. They're tools. Tools that can help shape how the eye moves across your body. Tools that can shift the entire vibe of an outfit. And the best part? You don't need a whole collection. Just a few key pieces that work with intention. Let's start with necklaces. Long pendant necklaces are one of the simplest ways to create vertical flow. They naturally draw the eye down from the neckline to mid-torso, which gives the illusion of length and slims the area in between. A delicate chain with a teardrop pendant. A beaded strand that ends just past your bust. These little details guide the eye exactly where you want it. Now earrings. You'd be surprised how much impact they can have. Drop earrings or slim hoops can help elongate your neck and bring attention to your face. And let's be honest, that's where your smile and your eyes live. That's your power zone. Choosing earrings that add just a bit of movement or shimmer can instantly brighten your whole look, even if your outfit is simple. Scarves are another favorite of mine, especially long, lightweight ones. When worn loosely around the neck or draped down the sides of a cardigan, they act like vertical bookends for your body. They add color and texture without adding bulk. I once worked with a client who had a basic black dress she felt was too plain. We added a long floral scarf, and suddenly, she looked polished, confident, and vibrant. And then there's the placement of accessories. Try to avoid anything that creates a horizontal block, like wide chokers, big brooches right on the chest, or belts that cut across your tummy unless you're styling them intentionally. Remember, we want the eye to move down, not side to side. One thing I always say, don't underestimate how a single accessory can shift your entire energy. You might be wearing jeans and a t-shirt, but add a layered necklace or a great pair of statement earrings, and now you're walking with a little more lift in your step. So next time you're getting dressed, pause before you say, I'm done. Look in the mirror and ask, what do I want to highlight today? Then choose one piece, just one, that helps tell that story. Maybe it's a necklace that guides the eye. Maybe it's earrings that frame your face. Whatever it is, make it intentional. Accessories are not about adding more. They're about adding meaning. And when chosen with care, they don't just finish your look, they elevate it. Let's finish with something people often overlook. Your shoes, your bag, and yes, even your hat. These might seem like afterthoughts, but they play a huge role in how your whole look comes together. They're not just accessories. They're framing tools. They ground your outfit, support your proportions, and can subtly shift how balanced and elegant you appear. Let's start with shoes. The right pair of shoes doesn't just keep your feet comfortable. It changes how your legs look and how you carry yourself. A pointed toe flat or an almond-shaped toe can visually lengthen the leg. If you go with nude tones that match your skin tone, it's even better. It creates an unbroken line, which is exactly what we want. Now, you don't need to go for high heels. Comfort is key, but something with a little lift, like a low wedge or a block heel, can elevate your posture and give your outfit a little more presence. I had a client who swapped out her round-toe, thick-soled shoes for a sleeker pair of tan wedges. She called me the next day and said, I feel taller. I feel like I glide now instead of stomp. Then we have bags. A lot of women default to crossbody bags because they're practical, but here's the thing. They often cut right across the midsection, which is the very area many of us are trying to downplay. Instead, opt for a structured shoulder bag that rests comfortably at your side. Medium-sized bags tend to be most flattering. They add polish without overwhelming your frame. Try to avoid oversized totes unless you're running errands or heading to the beach. On the flip side, teeny tiny bags can look out of proportion if you're on the taller or fuller side. Think balance. Think harmony. Choose a bag that flows with the rest of your outfit. And hats. Don't sleep on hats. A wide-brimmed straw hat in the summer is more than sun protection. It balances broader hips or shoulders and draws attention up toward your face. It also adds instant polish, even to the simplest outfit. One of my favorite looks is a white linen blouse, jeans, sunglasses, and a wide-brim hat. Effortless. Fresh. And so put together. Even small choices, like the metal tone on your bag clasp, the finish of your shoes, or the tilt of your hat, contribute to the story you're telling with your outfit. These things seem tiny, but when they're chosen with care, they tie everything together. So as you step out the door, do a quick check. Do my shoes extend my line or cut it off? Does my bag sit where I want the eye to go? Is my hat lifting the whole look, or just covering bad hair? These little adjustments don't take much time, but they can make you feel like the most put-together version of yourself. Because every step, every detail, should help you walk with a little more pride and a lot more presence. Now that we've walked through each styling tip, let's take a moment to connect the dots. This isn't just about clothes. It's about how you feel in them. That moment when you stand in front of the mirror, not second-guessing your reflection, but actually smiling at it. That's the magic we're after. When you understand how vertical lines flatter you, how a flowy fabric can hug you just right, and how a necklace or a hat can change your whole mood, you start dressing differently. You stop hiding. You start showing up. One client once said, "I used to think I needed to lose weight to feel beautiful. Now I just need the right outfit." That hit me hard. Because it's true. The way we dress has the power to change how we see ourselves, and how the world sees us. This moment right here, where you realize you have the tools to feel amazing today, not someday, that's the real transformation. So here we are. We've talked about dresses, lines, layering, accessories, and everything in between. But more than anything, we've talked about confidence. Style isn't about age, size, or trends. It's about knowing who you are and dressing in a way that reflects that truth. Whether it's choosing a flowing fabric that dances with you or layering softly to guide the eye, each choice is a form of self-respect. You don't need to hide behind your clothes. You get to shine through them. Remember, elegance is not loud. It's gentle, intentional, and deeply personal. Every time you get dressed, you're telling your story. So tell it with grace. Tell it like it matters. Because it does. If you enjoyed this video and found even one tip that made you feel more confident, I'd love for you to stick around. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. And ring the notification bell so you never miss a moment of inspiration. And hey, share this with a friend who could use a little style lift too. Because we all deserve to feel beautiful, supported, and seen. Every single day at every age.